So this is my Boardman Air TT time trial bike. It's the bike I use for any non-drafting races, which I don't do an awful lot of, but I did race in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago. It's the top of the range Boardman bike. It's an absolutely phenomenal bike. Use it with full SRAM 11-speed gears, a disc on the back for almost all conditions, and an 808 front wheel. They're both zip carbon wheels, pretty much as fast as you can get. We went for tyres this time round. Told her a bit faster. Obviously, you know, maybe a bit slower to change, but a bit more reliable to change in lots of ways as well. So that's got a bit easier travelling with them. A really good zip bar at the front, which offers all sorts of ways to change and move it around adjustability, which is great because you want to adjust it an awful lot. And obviously we do most of our riding on road bikes, and although if I'm preparing for a non-drafting race, I will spend a bit of time on time trial bike. But the biggest differences on a time trial bike is maybe the saddle a little bit higher, but not an awful lot, maybe a centimetre, and a bit further forward as well. So you bring yourself a bit further forward, and it helps put your glutes into play a bit more for a bit of power in that position. So yeah, it's been interesting experimenting with a bit more time trialing and spending time on the bike, which has been really good. And this is a really fantastic fast bike to ride. So my position on a time trial bike, I think there's a few things to look for. I think for most non-drafting triathlon, if we're talking about longer distant things, half Ironman, you want to just be able to sit on the bike fairly comfortable. You know, you're not gonna, if I was doing a tour TT of an hour or even less, I'd be looking for a really extreme position, aerodynamics, everything, but it's a real trade-off, I think, in triathlon TT between aerodynamics and comfort, and I think you just want to be able to sit on the bike quite comfortably. And so that's the first important thing, and like I said, I tried to kind of approximate it very much to my road position, so it wasn't a massive amount off. So just by lifting the saddle a little bit further forward than I would have it normally, brings me a bit further over the bottom bracket, which is really good. Quite a big drop off you can see there between the saddle height and the handlebars, but not so much that it's going to be really sore to do. To find you use your lower back and your glutes quite a lot, which is tough when you get up to run. I quite like it so that I'm not really far forward. You know, you see some people when they're time trialing are really far forward. I don't like that. I like a slightly more like a road bike position, I suppose, which is comfortable, but hopefully one that's kind of quite aerodynamic as well at the same time, but still allows you to push the power out. This is my Ekoi Aero time trial helmet, which is customised for both me and Johnny with the flags and names on and stuff, which is really cool. And it's just a nice, simple helmet to use, to be honest, easy to get on. Magnetic fastening system, which is really cool and really easy to get on. And I think, like you've seen with a lot of time trial helmets recently, they've taken the tail away to make it more of a rounded helmet, and that's all to do with how the air comes off the back of the helmet. And people now realise, yeah, in that position, it's good to have some turbulent air at the back of your head because it's more aerodynamic when the flowing air goes around it. But also, you know, noting that your head's going to be in all kinds of position, you spend a bit of time like that, a bit of time at different angles and stuff. And I think without the tail, that makes it a bit more aerodynamic. It seems to work well as well in fairly warm conditions. Even though there's no vents, there's good ventilation, and air comes straight around the top of your head, and it's just a really nice triathlon helmet.